Hello, welcome back. I'm Yulia Kosarenko. Let's continue talking about effective business analysis practices. In previous videos, we've covered why do we even need business analysis and what are possible ways for you to get support from your executives or persuade them or promote the value of business analysis. We talked also about when business analysis was required, and we discussed quite a few types of enterprise changes that could benefit and will benefit from good business analysis effort. Now today we will talk a little bit more about, well, what do you do? So what does a business analyst do? What is that business analysis process that we want to go through to support enterprise changes? So let's talk about that a little bit today. Let's start with business analysis process. What is that? So any process is a sequence of activities that we execute to achieve a certain goal. Same applies to business analysis process. It's a sequence of activities, of business analysis activities, and the goal is understand, capture, and share business requirements to ensure that we provide, we create or build or deliver that solution that either satisfies our business need or solves the business problem, right? So you may have heard of different methodologies: waterfall, agile, hybrid, scrum. You've heard all of these buzzwords. Think about it differently just for a moment. Regardless of methodology, analysis still involves specific steps, right? Analysis always starts with discovery. First, before you can dig into any problem, you need to discover, you need to understand what's going on. You gather information, you understand the context, you try to understand the company, the problem, the industry. Just getting that initial view, like high-level view, is needed for you to start proper analysis. So often we call it a discovery process or discovery phase of business analysis process. We start with discovery, then we need to move into analysis phase. So we gather the information, we start interviewing stakeholders, collecting data, collecting artifacts, observing a business process. We collect all of that information in its different shapes and forms, and then we start to analyze it. To start analyzing, we also need to be able to make some assumptions about what's going to happen next, assumption about what is changing, what is not changing, assumption about the company itself and where is it going. So you need certain assumptions to help you kind of ground yourself, and then you start doing analysis. So you break the complexity down, you look into individual components of different processes and parts of the problem. You try to understand the root cause of the problem. You look for contradictions, for dependencies, for relevancy, for correlation. You asking different people the same questions, compare their answers. Again, there's so much to analysis. I have a whole series of videos just dedicated to different techniques we use in analysis, and I'll definitely share the links with you. But just think about it this way: discovery, making assumptions, then analysis that helps us really understand the problem. From that analysis, then we start synthesis. We start to synthesize the business requirements, which is really a view of the future solution. You visualize what the solution needs to be like, what the solution needs to be able to do, what are the features, what are the capabilities that you need to have to be successful in this project. So really business requirements are the features and capabilities of our business solution, of the solution to our problem. This is the future state that we want to achieve. To synthesize requirements, again, business analysts use a variety of tools, variety of techniques. They capture them using text, using diagrams. They may design prototypes. They may create screen mock-ups. They may create mock-ups of reports and dashboards and various deliverables that could be part of that solution, right? Because your solution can have multiple components, and you need to visualize and describe and present them to build that picture, and that picture helps us then design the solution from the architecture perspective, right? So the solution design and then the development of the solution is based on these business requirements. So we analyze, we synthesize requirements, we validate all the time as we go through this analysis. Part of this process is reviewing, walking through, checking, clarifying, asking your stakeholders to review and provide additional details, maybe going back, iterating again. So a lot of this process is validation, making sure it's correct, and through this constant validation we also achieve that goal that we talked about of creating shared understanding, right? Because if you validate constantly, you review all the time, you also are coming closer together to have that shared understanding. So as you're doing all that, of course, you need to capture things. You need to capture what you've analyzed and what you've synthesized, right? And what you validated. So we are capturing requirements in different formats, and that may depend maybe documentation, maybe user stories, models, a variety of tools. And very importantly, you structure that. So you put it into some kind of structure. You may tag it, link it, give it identifiers. Maybe you'll have a hierarchy of user stories, themes, epics, user stories, etc. That structure is needed for you to make sense of all those requirements, because again, there are small projects and there are very large projects, and the larger the project, the more structure you need just to keep track of everything. So you are packaging, documenting, structuring, cross-referencing, and prioritizing, of course, because not everything is going to get done. Requirements and user stories will have different value, will have different priority. Prioritization will help then plan the delivery of the project, and it's also part of that business analysis process. So the process itself, it will have these defined phases, but it will also be iterative, right? Because you keep coming back as you discover something new. You may come back, gather more information about it. As you validate, you may stumble on contradictions or on gaps, which means you have to go back to drawing board, do more analysis, maybe do more discovery. So that iteration is natural for analysis process. And by the way, not just for business analysis as we talk about changes in organization, but also in research and science, in anywhere else where we apply those analytical methods. So this is very important for you when you build BA practice, to understand the process. I will link in the description. I have a webinar recording just focused on business analysis process and its activities. And this would be something that you will try to build and make it more structured and streamlined and standardized for your business analysis team. Okay. Now, a little bit of pivot from the same topic would be to say, okay, so based on what we talked about, where do those business requirements come from, right? And sometimes junior business analysts have this belief or misguided belief that requirements come from business. So let me just reiterate here, and again, I'll provide you with more visuals and resources just to help you promote that in your business analysis team, especially if you have junior analysts, maybe just fresh from college or just fresh from training. Remind them again and again, requirements don't come from business. Requirements come from business analysis. It's the business analyst who is accountable. You'll gather information, you'll interview, you'll get answers to your questions, you'll get some data. All of that needs to be analyzed, right? So requirements are not going to be ready for you to pick from the trees. You need to work through that. You need to apply business analysis tools and techniques, and you will need to discard things. You will need to add more information. You will need to research and synthesize. This is how we generate and synthesize and produce business requirements. We help our stakeholders formulate requirements through this process of analysis. Okay, so it's very important. So that is a philosophy of a successful business analysis team that I hope you will adopt. Now, to wrap up this episode, I want to finish it off with the concept of business analyst mindset. If you've known me for a while, you know I talk about business analyst mindset a lot, and this is the right time to remind about it, because it's this business analyst mindset that will remind us that requirements don't come from business, they come from business analysis. This BA mindset helps us to focus on business problems, focus on objectives, try to solve the right problem, and take accountability for, first of all, understanding the problem and then analyzing it, and then as we build up this business requirements for the solution, make sure that everyone involved has the shared understanding, understands what are we building, and then we support those changes throughout the whole process. We stay interested and motivated, and we get satisfaction as business analysts from that successful solution, not just from our requirements documentation. Who cares if it's great if the solution doesn't work, right? Our final result and final evidence that we've done a good job is the solution that actually solves the problem that our stakeholders will be using and will be happy about. So on the topic of BA mindset, I have so many resources, starting with my book, a series of videos, a series of articles, lots of visuals. I'm always happy to share those. If you're building a new business analysis team, talk about the BA mindset. Talk about the right mindset for solving business problems, for serving your clients, that are your stakeholders, for helping them solve problems, make the business more efficient. And again, it's just that thing that is sometimes a little bit hard to grasp, but it's what will help you build a successful team of respected analysts that your business stakeholders will ask to be added to their project. They'll want them on their project because they will learn and they will see how they bring value. Okay? So that's it for today. We will talk much more about business analysis practices. If you have any specific questions, add them into the comments or contact me. Always happy to help you. I do have some one-day training programs and workshops that I offer to companies, to enterprises that want to help to get started with business analysis on a specific project, or to help them start building a BA team. Let me know if I can help. All the best, and remember to use business analysis capability to make your changes more efficient. Take care. Until next time.